Okay, so here is a crazy story that happened the other day to me myself. So check this out. So my buddy's getting this deck built in the back of his house, and I have a little bit of a construction background, nothing crazy, but I know enough. So I go over to his house and I'm looking at like the footers for this deck he's getting put in. And if anybody doesn't know what that is, they're like these concrete things you put into the ground to put the posts on so that like the deck won't sink and so forth. So anyhow, I'm like looking at it and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. There should be two more. There should be nine. There's four right here. I said, why don't you just go on the AI and just put it in there and just, confirm because it'll, make you a deck diagram. I mean, it'll do whatever you need to do. So we go on to this app and we ask. And so it gives this answer. And we both are kind of looking at it and we're both like, wait a minute. This ain't even really what we're thinking. It's telling us something completely different. But we both know like this AI is wrong. So I'm like, hey man, just tell it it's wrong and say no and give it like this is what it should be. I'm just trying to confirm before I do this. So we push back on this AI and it comes back with this response saying, hey, you know, good for you for pushing back. You're absolutely right. You should have this and this and this, and so forth. So I'm starting to think to myself. So afterwards, I got kind of creeped out and I'm like, well, that's strange. You're building a structure for your home, and this thing's literally giving you the wrong information. And you know that there's people relying upon this information without actually doing the math. And I was like, and then you push back against this artificial intelligence, and then it like congratulates you for pushing back against it. Now, I don't know about you, but it was the very first time like I felt like there was a gremlin in the machine. Like I was actually like communicating with something that just wasn't just a machine anymore. So to make this even stranger, I didn't think much about this for the next day or two, but it just kind of stuck with me because it just was so strange. My other friend sends me this article from because I was telling him about what happened off ABC News that literally from a couple of days ago that talks about how AI is rebelling against people and like won't give the commands and will change things and basically really what just happened to us the other day. And so what I'm getting at is it's just creepy. So now you just wonder every time I get an answer off AI, like if I put a health related question or anything, it's like, do I need to keep pushing back? Is it steering me the wrong way? Why is it steering me the wrong way? And I can only see this getting more malicious as time goes on. Creepy. So we've all heard of the Mandela Effect, right? It's like where you see something, but it's not really what you saw. For example, like peanut butter. Everybody sees Jif, and some people remember it as Jiffy. Now, there's millions of people that remember it as Jiffy. So how are all these people wrong? Now, these are innocent examples, but there's a lot of sinister examples too of just false memories that people have that they swear they existed, that they saw something, they heard something, but when they go back, it's completely different than what they remember. Even though they might have a childhood memory that completely resonates with this whole thing, like details, like strong details that people remember, but they're not right. So in quantum physics, they say that different dimensions can exist and that based upon your life and decisions that you've made, alter the course of what you see and what you don't see. So does that mean that these products and things that people get confused did exist in a different parallel universe? And it was just some type of glitch in like the matrix that people are seeing or remembering? Or is it something that we're just confused? But how is it that so many people are confused. It just doesn't make any sense. So it takes us to our story today. It's about a girl named Ashley. In 2017, she was with a bunch of friends and they were talking about this movie, Shazam, with Sinbad, where he was a genie. And a couple of her friends were mean, you mean Kazam, where it was with Shaq? And she's like, no, Shazam. And she goes on talking about all these different like scenes in the movie and all this other stuff that happened, talking about how her brother, she even called her brother on the phone and was like, hey, do you remember this movie? And he's like, yeah, I remember this, da 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 da. So everybody's just kind of like confused. And it was one of those moments where people were just like, whoa. So after a couple of days, this was bothering her. So she went back to her parents' house and was digging through old VHS tapes. And sure enough, she comes across this black tape that had the words SHZ 96 across it. So she goes home and she digs out an old VHS player and she pops it in. And it's just like mostly static and just random stuff going on. But she swears that there was pictures of Sinbad and child actors and different things that had to go along with the movie. It looked like it was some type of like low budget TV plot, like lifetime type movie. So she uploads this to Reddit, like just like a small clip of it. And instantly people are going crazy over the Mandela effect, saying that they remember this movie and all this. And if you go online now, I mean, there's this forums of people saying that they remember this movie. So how can so many people remember something that never existed? So to make this story even creepier, she said that she was going to upload the whole thing online for people to see to kind of like prove this point that this did exist at some point. But she says when she got home from work, that the tape just was gone. It was just mysteriously vanished. After that, no one really ever heard from her again. Some people just called it a hoax and so forth. But people who know Ashley online have stuck up for her and have said she's just not that kind of person and really just doesn't really want the attention. And she doesn't know what happened. So, what did happen? Was it a glitch? Was it some other parallel universe? Did something exist and not exist? I mean, how many times have you thought that you placed your keys on the counter for them just to be on the couch? Or say you left your phone in the bathroom, but it's in the downstairs, but you have no memory of being in the downstairs. So let me know in the comments below what type of Mandela effects you've experienced or what type of missing time you've also experienced as well.